We just wanted to get a bunch of systems folks together and talk about interesting technology, mingle, meet some folks, and we were kind of overwhelmed actually by the interest. So it's great to have so many people here. In terms, I do think that the thing that's going to bind us all together is an interest at some level in systems. And speaking to myself personally, when I was a weird kid, and when I grew up, when I was a kid, I wanted to be an economist when I grew up. I got very into the cross-price supply elasticity of copper and molybdenum when I was a teenager because I was a ne'er-do-well. And I was convinced that I was going to get a PhD in economics and I was going to run a mine. Yes, I mean, we can have comments on my youth side. And I got to school and I discovered computer science and I discovered computing systems. And my life took this right turn, hard right turn. And for years, I kind of thought that, like, wow, I was interested, I was going down this path over here, and then all of a sudden, I jumped the track and went down this other path of computing systems and software systems. And it was only later that I realized that actually, it's systems, an interest in systems, be they economic systems, software systems, computing systems, that is actually what was interesting to me. And remains interesting to me. And the reality is that a computing system is much more mutable than an economic system. And it's much easier to reason about a computing system than an economic system. Computing systems don't have the human in the loop nearly as much as an economic system does. So they're very gratifying in that regard. So I think when you look at the talks tonight, we are going to be all over the stack. We're going to be kind of up, down, and all around. And I think that the theme that is going to cut through all of them is an interest in systems. And I think that part of what you're going to see, and one of the kind of common themes that you're going to see in terms of an interest in systems, is an interest in pathological systems. And as I will talk about later, I'm an inveterate disaster porn addict, as many of you know. And I believe that systems, in many ways, reveal themselves when they fail. And if you look at biological systems, our entree into biological systems has always been through failure. It's always been through understanding pathology from the dawn of medicine and biology onward. And I think what you're going to see as kind of a common theme for the night is people trying to understand pathological systems. Because when a system fails, that is when you can reason about it the best in many ways. Because that failure, especially if it's a fatal failure, is indisputable. The thing crashed. No one can argue that it worked. And we can now actually go and reason about it. Things get more complicated when it didn't crash, it just sucks. And what is the source of the sucking? So I think we're going to start off with the sucking tonight. We'll get to more fatal failures as the evening goes on. And these are going to be kind of lightning-ish talks. We've got folks are going to be presenting for about on the order of 10 to 20 minutes. We'll take a break in there as well. So hopefully there'll be a format that works for folks. At 9 o'clock, the AC will cut off, and we will all die of asphyxiation by about 10 o'clock. So it'll be fun. It'll be like Jonestown. So stick around.